presence is a paradise for me. Lord, I want to stay wherever you are, Papa. Your presence is a paradise for me. Where can I be without your presence? Your presence is a paradise for me. Your presence, your presence, your presence, your presence. Your presence is a paradise for me. I've been searching for a place all my life, a place I can call my home, a place I can feel safe and rescue. No, I find them, hey, I find them until I enter, hey, your presence. In your presence, mountain must bow. In your presence, my problems shall bow. Even the dust can never stand. In your presence, darkness shall shine like the day. Your presence gives light to the blind. Your presence gives healing to the cripple. Your presence causes the dead to rise again. Your presence, Lord. Your presence is a paradise for me. Lord, I wanna be in your presence, Lord. Your presence is a paradise for me. Mountain must bow in your presence, Lord. Your presence is a paradise for me. Disappointment must bow in your presence, Lord. Your presence is a paradise for me. I have liberty in your presence, Jehovah. Your presence is a paradise for me. If he get commanded in the dry live in your presence, and it was so. Just give her now, she entered your presence and was given, oh child. I remember Jacob, he said, I'm not living here for your presence until you bless me. Oh, King David said, cast me not away from your presence. Take not your spirit from me. Lord, if your presence doesn't go with us, oh Lord, we will not leave. I call your presence, oh your presence. Your presence is a paradise for me. In your presence, frustration must bow. In your presence, barrenness must bow. No demon can stand. In your presence, Lord, no mountains can stand. In your presence, Lord, your presence is a paradise for me.
Okay, well, folks, we want to welcome you to today's broadcast. I'm Alphonso Zean of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. As usual, we're here to bring you news, information developing across the globe, Liberia, to our own community, and the rest of the world. So we are here this evening to have this conversation. As you know, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George Weah, is touring the country as we speak. Is in the southeastern side of the Republic of Liberia, and so we will be talking with stakeholders as well. The essence of the visit, what it hopes to bring to this political subdivision, and what be the potential political dividend. So we're here to bring you this news here. And we'll be going on the record is the CAUCUS chair of the Grand GEDEH County, his Honorable Ellis Chesia Green, is currently in the provincial seat of Zuadru, Grand GEDEH County in the southeastern side of Liberia. We managed to reach him to get a take to what the visit of the president, what is the implication to Grand GEDEHians, what could be the potential political payback or dividend, if you will. And so Honorable Grand will be joining us here very shortly from Zuadru to Grand GEDEH County. He will be joining us via phone. It's not going to be a video here because of the gap. And so we're going to be having this sort of conversation here. These images we managed to obtain. You see that Representative Green is in the groundbreaking ceremony. The president, Senator Marshall A. Dennis. You see Senator-elect Zoe Emmanuel Peno is on the other side there. They are having a very great time in that groundbreaking ceremony. So we're going to be having it here. That's a dedication ceremony. He's going to be explaining the interpretation, or is it the same old symbolic political way of doing things? So we're going to be having Representative Grant here very shortly to have this conversation with us. And as usual, you, our listening audience, you are you are also part and parcel of to this conversation. I am Alphonso, Zean of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. In the meanwhile, the president was in Zuadru. He's wrapping up on this 6 county tours in the southeastern side. But let's bring you some images here, courtesy of our sister network in Liberia, or embedded with the president. This one here is at the Zuadru City Hall, where President George Weah was interacting with the citizens. I will be right back.
To also say thank you. Thank you for the peace that we are keeping here in Grand GEDEH. Because of the peace that we are keeping in Grand GEDEH, we are unified, we are working together. Mr. President, Your Excellency, as your Minister of Internal Affairs, I want to proudly say in this hall.
Okay, time is fast spent. Let me, I'm going to be bringing in the Honorable Mayor. But before we do that, I have my analyst and senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio, Amos George, is standing by in Atlanta City, non-independent, a senior creditor by both governments and the opposition. Amos George is there very shortly. Honorable Grant going to be joining us here. Mr. George, good evening.
How are you doing, Mr. Soul?
Okay, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping here while we are with Honorable Grant going to be joining us here. The president, we had this conversation, is not a new talking point. The president was in Grand GEDEH. Now we are making a follow-up to our political leaders, the implication, what it means when the president leaves the county, and what could be the payback. So are we going to be talking the same old politics here, or what do you think we're going to be hearing from Honorable Grant?
I mean, they will have to say something because there was a groundbreaking ceremony, and he may touch on the road issue again. But again, all these things require funding. So how are they going to do it again?
Okay.
How
are they going to do it again? Hold on there. Let me see here. Honorable Ellis Chesia Grain is on the line, on the phone from the provincial city of Zuadru, Grand GEDEH County. Let's just see here. This is a symbolic. These are images there, groundbreaking ceremony. Let me see if the honorable is there. Hi, Honorable Grant. Hi, good morning.
Very good morning.
Yeah.
So how are you?
I'm good. It seems to me after the hectic row with the president that you're still going through it. But thank you for honoring our invitation for coming here this evening. How are you today?
I'm good. Still recuperating from the stressful celebration we had to receive His Excellency on our soil and then giving the befitting treatment deserving of a president.
Okay. All right. Nothing is guaranteed here. What I'm going to get, you're going to get that treatment here, but we are here to bring news, information. I'm being joined by our senior analysts in the backstage listening. Grenadians, Liberians are listening. Honorable Grant, we want to thank you so much for honoring our invitation. As usual, you're always available when we really need you. Folks, again, we said the Honorable is still in Grand GEDEH County. So at this morning hour, it's not possible to bring in on video, so we all know the internet connectivity. What matters is the message we're going to be hearing. Okay, Honorable, thank you so much. Let's get down strictly. I told the wire. The president visited GEDEH County. It's better late than never. This is overdue. But again, fair to measure is better late than never. Let's get a little bit run through. What is the significance of this trip? What is it bringing to GEDEH? I've seen beautiful images here. Ellis Chesia Green is involved in the groundbreaking ceremony. The president is there. Senator Dennis is there. Senator Zoe Emmanuel Peno is there. That seems to be a wonderful time this gone a couple of days ago. What is your side of the story?
Yeah, thank you. We all were excited over the period, and since our government came to power on 22nd January 2018, we have not had the time to come to. When I mean we, I mean the president. I not had the time to visit people in the rural part of the country or all of the counties tour to extend thanks and appreciation and to maybe decode his the proposed agenda for development and prosperity and development. So this mission brings out those things that the president intends to do, the things he has done, and bringing all of them together to showcase his success over the past 3 years. And now that we're getting into the 4th year, to tell the people how he intends to achieve the development objectives of his government. And clearly seeing our government is on the right trajectory to transforming our societies and transforming our politics as well. Because you find out that the president has maintained his focus for development, like he said on his inauguration. You may not like me for my way of speaking or watch out for my development. I may not be the best speaker, but I tell you for a certainty, I will bring about development and change. And these things are already surfacing. They are heads, productive heads. So gradually we are getting there. His Excellency is committed to developing this country since its creation.
I'm a representative. When you say we are getting there, this has been the straight story. This has been that I read on. How far are we to get there precisely? Any idea?
Oh, you mean how far are we to get to what we want to, or where we want to get to? I think we are getting closer because those are things that the president promised in his campaign speech to ensure roads are constructed. And we checked today in Monrovia, our community roads have largely been, catered to. The national highway discussions and implementation are on the way for the implementation of the Ganta Secretary Highway, and the second phase of that, which is the second batch for development, is taken care by World Bank from Ganta to for Secretary of Tabata, and then the final part that will definitely and precisely benefit us is the third part, which spans up to 110 kilometers. And the president is committed to achieving that development objective probably within the next 3 years.
Next 3 years. So presumably,
by the time we are able to arrive at that point, we will be very closer and closer again, because we're not going to get there just like that. It's a gradual process.
Okay, all right, we will see it. So that's pretty well almost at the end of his first. Is it fair to ask this question? The president visit, does it benefit GEDEH County as in any way or form? Is it fair to ask that question?
Well, thank you, GEDEH. I think has benefited and is still benefiting, and we intend to. Now we intend, the president intend to bring more benefits. Right now, if you saw also breaking ground in one of those photos, probably that's what you are referencing. We are breaking ground for the construction of a 150-bedroom hospital, which the president negotiated and then lobbied for, and we got it from the German government. All those people are coming to give budgetary support for the upliftment of our country. So Nigeria is getting that. Also, there are other pictures probably you may have seen. There were also ribbon cutting for the dedication of the Nigeria County Community College. Okay? Some will say, oh, but it was not his project, was anything. But listen, the additional funding, it was sourced and then put into the school will not have succeeded. And that's the essence of continuity in the government, because government is continuity. So by the time this person said and they didn't complete it goes into your name. But otherwise, we still have some great things are about to happen. The model schools are being prepared for construction. If you check, there are about 35 modern houses, concrete and bricks, modern houses that our rural dwellers are going to benefit free of charge, being constructed by the president himself.
So let me hold you there. Yeah, let me hold you there, Honorable here. I heard you saying there's a dedication ceremonies of the community college. Are they making additional adding annex, or what's the significance of that dedication?
Oh, we added additional structures that mean like auditorium, very large auditorium, like a host up to 700. It's now 1,000 plus president. 700. 1,000 plus, almost 4,000. Auditorium was constructed. Okay? A new campus entirely was constructed. The additional buildings. So you follow that we are on course. We were able to dedicate our school, and now you find that the graduation that is expected on the 26th, 27th of February is definitely going to take place in the community college's own premises. So you see how things are gradually moving.
Yeah, no question. No questions about that.
Is moving forward.
Yeah, go ahead. Just end your statement.
No, I said Nigeria County is moving forward with development. In previous years we had government that spent over, let's say, approximately 10 years, and we couldn't achieve this, what we are achieving today. But that's the enlightenment that we have today. So Nigeria County, with our enlightenment and our ability to interlocate or negotiate with the government of the day, we are certainly to grow stronger.
Yeah, no questions about that. The arrival of the president in Granger, it was amazing. It was overwhelming. It was massive. We saw those images. How serious the president took those into concern. The history will further lead the history of Granger County when it comes to voting. Granger County has overwhelmingly voted for this president. Is that something that you think he has on top of his head?
Well, Granger County has overwhelmingly voted as president, and to let you know and to reassure you, Granger is even set to elect him again to presidency. In fact, Granger County now has become the first to petition the president to contest for a second term in office.
Why?
Done right here in Israel State, yeah.
So why that political commitment was made?
Well, we have specific interest, and we have specific commitment in supporting one of our own.
Is there any commitment, political payback? You have voted this president even when he was first defeated in the last two subsequent elections before even becoming president. The numbers are over the roof in terms of the support to this president. Do you think GEDEH as a county, as in any form, should obtain such a political dividend payback for their support? Politics is all about interest. Do you think your county has reached that level?
Well, GEDEH still feel accomplished to see that the father elected their own son. They are hopeful.
Or you say
some of what we hope for, we are hopeful, and some of what we hope for are being accomplished. So the people, I mean, you could see it then, you could see the radiation of joy, the radiation of accomplishment. Well, it's true, we need people development, but GEDEH's aspiration for repeatedly and successively voting Mr. President was that to see him as a statue of security.
When you say hopeful, is there any time limit? Is there any sort of limitation as to how long these people are going to be hopeful?
Well, the best thing you do in life is to have hope. And hope is endless. Because you're always striving for greatness.
Is he providing that hope? So, any sign, any indicators for us to know that that hope is in the making?
Sure. The conversations he has been having, sometimes it's not going to publicize some of those things, but we had deeper conversations than what was said in the press. That was just the tip of the iceberg. But the fact remains that, I mean, once they have made a commitment that they are going to construct roads, I would say what they need now is road, they need food, and then they will be good. When they have the roads, they will clean their own community. They will be much more productive. So, what is was dominant also among us is that our country and social development funds should be released to us so that we are able to have some additional moving equipment to start opening our farm to market roads. And he committed to supporting just that. He even visited the churches here. He pledged the churches were requesting like 5 motorbikes. He said, I'll give you 10 motorbikes so that you go about preaching the gospel and sustaining the peace.
Unlike, okay, let's go behind the camera because the camera does not have the capacity to capture every point of discussion here. Now, I am privileged to have you here, you as the chair of the caucus as well. This is quite historic. It's on your watch. Vice President, even though he promised to visit, and like I said, fair to mention, it's better late than never. The visit has already occurred. How significant this other aspect here? You as caucus chair, from these images here, I see your colleagues and members of both houses of government. Some I see on was Zoe Emmanuel Peno, Senator-elect, Senator Marshall Dennis. I believe I'm not sure whether the outgoing Senator Gay was there. Were you all in info at that ceremony?
Sure, except for Umna Bullet, who wasn't able to show up, but everyone else is, I mean, the former senator, the current senator, Zoe Emmanuel, he has been inducted, so now he's senator. He's not elect anymore. So he was inducted on Tuesday, I mean, by way of information. So he was there, Senator Daniel was there. Dr. Bode, from what we heard, is not too well to travel on this road. So he couldn't come.
Was you informed by intent not to go further here, but was you as a caucus chair, was that information that it reached you?
Well, the information reached me. I informed him. He didn't say it when I was in Monrovia, but Honorable Senator told me that he wasn't well. And I had no reason to doubt the credibility of the senator.
Okay. I saw the visit of the president in Nima County, and the guy who considered himself as a political godfather, which of course it seems to be the case because of his dominance that he exerts over Nima County. Senator Prince Johnson were making some real political requests. Let's turn the camera off here. Were those sort of a similar conversation held with the president as well in terms of this, Mr. President? we have done a lot from you. From onset, we have been very consistent. And it was quite surprising. The president alluded to that. To say, oh, other people never voted me. Other people said if I won this election, I will be like a deserted child. I might not be local. So it is within the mindset of the president that he's fully aware of the overwhelming political support that he has obtained and continues to enjoy from Grand GEDEH. What does he promise in return as a reciprocal to get Grand GEDEH County moving?
Well, one of the major promises made was to ensure that Grand GEDEH Road project completes together with the projects coming from Secretary and Ganta, coming from Ghana to Tapeta and then Secretary to Ganta. A major concern is if we have those roads open up, we will have enough things to happen in our country. Development will be widespread. So we were reassured that the road pavement for Grand GEDEH South will start soon as well. So that was something enough to move the crowd into, the mood of celebration, because people are concerned about what they have. People are concerned about staying in Grand GEDEH County, and then when there is the rainy season, you cannot get access to other parts of the country. So when the president promised that he would do everything humanly possible to see that the road from Tapeta to Grand GEDEH County is paved in a short while. Beyond that, we have other closed-door conversations that I feel will be unethical to say now. But otherwise, like I said, there is hope at the end of the tunnel.
What could be the example of those closed-door conversations, Honorable Grant?
If I could divulge information clearly, I would have. But the information.
Political in nature?
Political, developmental, and economic.
Is this visit by the president, and I do not want to question the authenticity of the president, but is it the political shellacking that your party or the party that you support, the coalition, received or got as a result of the 2020 May turn, and the president is trying to make making a political makeup for 2023? Is that it, or are we going to see it happening physically, Mr. Honorable Grant?
Well, the president has 80 measures on this note that the nationwide tour should be an annual event, and he's not relenting on that. And the reason that the president has not visited places was because last year we were set deadline. This timelines were indicated about the visit. Unfortunately, we had a corona situation, and we couldn't travel to bring people together in large numbers. You see how the numbers were outpouring. So they could have just helped to spread corona last year. So in his wisdom, there was no need to go ahead and visiting counties or doing county tours when we were also working to prevent widespread of coronavirus. So the president is done responding to the decision of the 2020 midterm election. He is just performing his national duty in a regular manner and as expected of him. So, he was just doing the right thing at the right time.
Right thing at the right time. Did the president ever mention specifically when these roads, constructions, breaking the ground, that's okay, is symbolic, but the implementation aspect, as the president or the GOL is making a timeline as to when they're going to start?
The procurement processes are on our way. They're ongoing. So there is certainty that by next year, the situation was improved on these roads.
So are you saying by next year?
Confirming myself, when we were traveling to Grand GEDEH, I saw people on the road doing, marking places, identifying places, and then doing some survey to affect the road construction. So that is something I think I can see for certainty that is happening.
Okay, that's what we are hoping for, because from my Morovia to Zwerju, and not just on the Grand GEDEH, beyond Grand GEDEH road connectivity, we've been hearing for quite a while now. The president has been arguing on that, but it's good that we want to see it happen physically. What has been the reactions of Grand GEDEHians? People that assembled to welcome the president. They had a chance to talk to the president, or did the president in turn say anything specific to say here? Because the president, again, like I said, he agrees that Grand GEDEH has been very consistent when it comes to supporting him.
Yes, the president and the citizen have conversations. And that's how people, during the town hall meeting, there were conversations all across the floor. People spoke based on different social groupings. And then the president listened to them. As a result, he made some of the decisions he made. In fact, the citizens' presence and the performance of one young choir group here attracted the president further to worship on Sunday with the Indian Chapel Church, AG Church in Zwerju here, because he so much admired the singing of the choir, and then he went after to also see, assessing what the churches look like. He was there and he made some commitment in the churches as a person. He didn't say as a government, and he will help to construct the AG Church. So that's how far, those are some of the conversations we had with people in the community. As a result of town hall meeting, we went to church, and the church succeeded in disseminating, disseminating the information also to the people about the goodness the president has brought.
I will be bringing our senior analyst here. Amos George is standing by in Atlanta, Georgia, and potentially we'll open the lines to it just in case your people or Liberian wants to enter here. But let me ask this question here. So what is the level of relationship with the CAUCUS? I know the CAUCUS, the last time I was there, a lot been ongoing, and just not only the Grand GEDEH CAUCUS, most of those countries, that sort of a political device is always there. But from what I saw this gone time around, is that a new beginning for the CAUCUS in terms of solidifying yourself, talking to one another, sitting down and to do the job for which you guys were elected for? We pay you people, and so you have to do the people job. But thereby, some CAUCUS members are not talking to one another. Those sort of conversations are not there. Then, Honorable, it seems to be a problem. Are we going to see a new
such situation? There are isolated cases.
Say it again.
If there seems to be any such cases, they are isolated cases. But as far as I'm concerned, we are working. And then we all will now work at the same speed because we are a different group of people. We all may not work at the speed, people anticipate. But the fact remains that we are working for the good of our people.
Okay, and that's what we really want to hear. So was there any CAUCUS meeting, for example, prior to the visit of the president, so that you guys can have a cohesive, coherent message, which I know it took place, I assume, making a good educated guess yet. Was there any sort of a inside meeting before the president arrives in Zwerju recently, or Grand GEDEH for that will matter?
We had a CAUCUS meeting in Morovia.
Okay, all right.
We have. Yeah, we have CAUCUS meeting in Morovia that prepare us into coming to Grand GEDEH.
To Grand GEDEH. Okay, I know one major two elections is outstanding. I'm going to be bringing our senior contributor, Amos George. I see him backstage taking notes, and I'll be switching the audio. We're going to be putting the number out here as well. Viewers, listeners following us, I'm Alphonso Zean of the Liberia Public Radio. On the line, on the phone from the provincial state of Zouadrou, GEDEH County, that's Republic of Liberia, is Honorable Ellis Chesia Grant, is a District Number 3 representative and also chair of the CAUCUS, not to mention all the other numerous positions in Parliament at the lower house of representative. Because when we get to go that, I don't think we end here tonight. He's on so many committees. Accredited African Pan-African Pan-African
Parliament.
Pan-African Parliament. Okay, so he's a big guy. Let me bring in Amos George, and I'm going to be switching the audio just in case he has a question. Amos George is what senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio. He's based in Atlanta, Georgia. Pa George, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. How you doing?
Okay, good. Okay, I believe you listened to the honorable man for a little while now, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I saw you making a diary. Is that a diary or notes? You were taking notes?
Yeah, I'm trying to prepare a diary.
Okay, is there any question before? If you have any question before I switch over to him?
Yeah, I got one or two questions. The first one will have to do with the road issue. He mentioned that the president said that the road will be completed within 3 years. And I think a good son from GEDEH, I think last week, were on the same topic. And he said he's an engineer. I think Mr. Grant know him, Samson Bakuto. And he said that looking at that road to be completed within 3 years is not possible. And he may mention that could be an overstatement if we say you will start a construction fund. And the president himself may mention that they are talking to donors about funding of that road. So now I want to know from Honorable Grant, the statement there is a sincere statement to Grand Gideon or to the Liberian people, or it's just a political statement? Looking at how the process goes, securing this loan, the grant or donor from donors, they try and take. And with the rainy season, whether in Liberia, is that a sincere statement to promise the people of Grand Gideon and Liberia that the road will be completed within 3 years? How durable would that be, that road?
Okay, Honorable, are you there?
Well, I heard him say the president said the road will be completed in 3 years.
No, I say you said you said that the president.
I don't remember such statement, but what I know, the president has committed himself to ensuring that Southeast is connected, but improve roads. It is the desire of the president to complete the road even in 1 year. But does that work possibly based on the availability of resources? Does that work possibly based on the work of the engineers that are going to do this thing? Yes, I can have such anxiety and ambition to tell you I want to do this in 1 or 2 days. That just speaks much more to the confidence I have, to my exuberance or my desire to have this thing accomplished. So, well, you may want to say a political statement, but I see a statement of wanting to achieve. Not necessarily political.
I'm not saying that he doesn't want to do it.
Wishing to achieve.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I think he get a follow-up here. Let me go up there back to him. Pa George, are you there?
Yeah, I'm not saying that wanting to, saying the sincerity of the construction. That's what I'm talking about, because he said, the president said that they are talking to donors about the funding of that project. And looking at the time it would take, whatever, 1 month or 2 months, then coupled with the rainy season, I'm just wondering, would the project be completed within 3 years? Is that a sincere statement? Or if you think 1 year can do it, with all the work it will take? Because as I stated before, a renowned engineer was on the program. We're talking about the president visit to Zean, and this topic came up. And he gave his output that was not a realistic statement to say that project will be completed within 3 years. Based upon that, that's what I'm asking. Commitment is good. Promising people is good. But sometimes this statement can be over-promising. And that's why I would say politicians need to honor promise and deliver. So that is my question I'm asking. Now, you may mention about 35 housing, 35 units will be constructed. Is that part of the president's national project or personal project?
Are you
The
there?
35 units, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, is that personal project or is it part of the government?
Personal projects, presidential projects.
Okay.
All right. They're not being implemented or through national budget. President sought resources, and some of the resources he sought as a president is why he put it into that into the housing project.
Okay. Now my last question to you. That has to do with the president visit. As citizen like that, I'm a little bit concerned, and maybe you can throw more light on this thing here. What is the relationship as represented with that of the first lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Nancy Doe, and that with the president? Because one time I heard the first lady was crying that her benefit had not been paid by this government. So as son of Nigeria, have you ever intervened or trying to intervene to make sure that the former first lady of Liberia, Mrs. Doe, who happened to be a daughter of Nigeria and her husband also was a late son from Nigeria, have you ever tried to make any intervention?
The time we are playing is supposed to go and meet the president of the CAUCUS, the former first lady came in with politics, playing political games. When she started to attack the former representative Zoe Penno, it weakens the CAUCUS. Where she say if somebody goes to vote for Zoe as senator, and then I will die because he wants to kill me, and then attacking him, that weakens our even position to go negotiate. Because if you have such an issue and the CAUCUS is picking it up to discuss and you politicize it, then you weaken our position to advocate. Notwithstanding, I was in conversation with her yesterday. Now, when I get back to town, now that we finish elections, call number panel, call all the members of my CAUCUS. Look, we had this situation, but let's put it behind us. Let's talk to the former first lady and see how we can make intervention with the president. All right? Many of you follow when she said some things on Facebook, on the WhatsApp chat room. I mean, openly accusing on the panel, and then they came into a family field. So once you get things into a family field like that, it makes life difficult for external interveners. And that's the situation for which it's happening. So, like I said yesterday, I had this conversation. I was in Town when I received a call from Marcus Nayu, and the first lady said, the former first lady spoke to me that she wanted to talk to me. I said, okay, when I'm back in Monrovia, I'm going to come to meet you. And it is at that point I'm going to commence talking to the panel family and her own family who can find a common ground and move forward. Because if the heart is not settled and you see moving out there, you have division. But if we settle and have united position, we can approach His Excellency. So
then let me intrude you a little bit. I'm wondering, Honorable Zoe Penno, he took offense to what the former first lady was saying, for which
if you follow, his mother, Zoe's mom, also came out to rebuke Nancy Doe, the former first lady. That in fact, since her husband Samuel Doe, that Nancy Doe, has not spoken to her, the older sister to her late husband. Over the years, she had never gone to sympathize with her sister-in-law. That was the allegation from Zoe's mother. So you see, it came into a serious family field.
Okay.
Inside, so
okay, but I know, Honorable, I don't want to go in that area, but I was just saying.
All right. Okay.
I was just saying for the government side.
A national issue here, which is very much important. Let's. Are you there? Are you there, Pa George?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Do you have further questions? Okay, for folks, for those of you that are listening, the number is there, 682-433-8802. You can also call and make your contribution as well. Yeah, go ahead, Pa George.
Yeah. And Honorable, you did mention about Nigerian finding the same very secure, security-wise, with the election of President Weah. why you think that other people will not protect Nigerians? What is the reason?
Actually, a few questions, but you're a little bit far from your mic.
Yeah,
okay.
No, what?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back. Pa George, what's your question? Because you're on the video.
He said that Nigerian support President we have got to feel more comfortable, more secure with him. And my question to him, if I got him right, is he saying that other people, other than President we are or different ethnic group become president, they will not protect the people of Nigeria or Nigerian?
Oh, okay. He's on the.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, that's something I want us to know. You know, immediate past, immediate after a period of war, people were like, people were in a stage of, trying to recuperate from war. And that mindset of trauma was still very much fresh in the minds of people. It was because of that, and the actors of the war by then. I mean, Madam Sadiq coming to power, people felt, wow. So this woman, who was the principal actor, is coming to power. Why should we vote for her? It's better we vote for somebody who's not going to chase us back into the Cote d'Ivoire. You understand? That's why persistently, in the first time, only 3.6%, she got in the election. Like Nigerians were decisive in giving President Weah vote at the time, because they wanted to do everything to prevent the coming to office of Madam Sadiq out of fear for their own security. And this is something that was glaring. So repeatedly and consistently they voted Weah in that manner. And so that's why it happened. I'm not saying after Weah we may not have to elect another president. We will. But by the time our fears are being allayed, the traumatic situation were being remedied, and we can put another person.
But your president senator now was a very close friend to Ellen Johnson.
Aftermath of the war, so people were playing security much more. That's why you saw us voting in that manner, and we still feel that way that he's gone. In fact, that's why every time people say, "Oh, we lost our 12 years because of you, but now we should do this with our years." But gradually, we will get there.
Yeah, here's a follow-up question. Your president senator now, Honorable Zean, was a very close ally of Ellen Johnson. In fact, she went with him to Zebro. You think if Zean was that close, what made other Nigerians did not have assurance that she will treat them better?
Okay, just hold on 1 second. Let me go to the honorable. Honorable, I have a caller on the line here. I believe you heard Pa George. That can be the second phase that Honorable Zoe Emmanuel Perno was close to President Sally Helen Johnson Sirleaf, and nothing much was done. So getting to President Weah now, whether they're going to be a big difference. But I have on the line here one of our regular followers, Mr. Mikey Emmanuel, is on the line here. Mikey, good evening and welcome. Mikey, are you there? Hello?
Hello to me?
Yeah. I have a caller here too. Mikey, are you there? Oh, I think I'm not sure why. Mikey, are you hearing us? Because I think the honorable is there. I don't know why you're not hearing us. Okay, maybe I will make him to call back for some reason. Okay, you want to respond for Mr. George, any point, honorable? Okay.
I lost sight of that point.
Okay, let me pull Mikey. I think Mikey is calling back. Mikey, are you there?
Oh no, this is not Mikey. I see why. This is James.
Oh, okay, James. Okay, because he called him too. Okay, let me pull you through. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Out of George.
Okay. James is on the line. What's your question? What's your question?
Oh, I got two questions and a statement.
Okay, just introduce yourself so that way he knows.
Okay. My name is James Yanta, calling from Minnesota.
Okay, Mr. Yanta, welcome to the show.
Oh, okay.
Can you kindly take your time and speak clearly to me?
Okay. My name is James Yonte, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So, I don't know. The first two questions that I have is, I saw you guys, the president was in Maryland, and Maryland have one of the best city hall back in the day in West Africa. And as I was watching the video, I saw this city hall still standing, but some part of it, they use it for the city mayor, and some part of it is kind of a little damaged, but it just needs some work on it. When you guys got over there, there's anything discussed to see how best you can bring it back to life? That's my first question. And
Where in Maryland?
Yes, in Apple.
Now focus on Grand GEDEH, please.
He's a representative from Grand GEDEH. So I'm not sure what we hope to reach all of the lawmakers to know what's exactly going on. But you can switch your question over to Grand GEDEH, my man. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to do.
Okay, yeah, for Grand GEDEH, indicated, thanks for reminding me on that point, that the Grand GEDEH City Hall will be refurbished.
Okay. Then
the 83 was set up.
Okay. And my question
even the even the Thomas Palace, they are being brought on Ministry of State. For its original intended purpose. So it will also be refurbished. So it's pre-war to give you a facelift. Because the president was clear. He said, look, if we have these institutions that were viable institutions pre-war, and then because of the war, these institutions were like tempered with, and we don't try to restore them. Whenever people see them, the issue they get reminded about war. This good property we had before has been demoralized since the war and cannot be resuscitated. So those are things that if we are to remove the concept or the scar of war from people's mind, we have to then restore institutions and structures that were functional actively prior to the war, so that people feel that with the war, we are the war. In fact, things are normal now. But otherwise, if we still keep those structures, statues of war around, people still get that war mindset. And based on that, we are offered to refurbish the Grand GEDEH County City Hall, the City Hall, to its pre-war status immediately 1990 when it was completed. They will furnish it and do everything that will bring it back to that level. And the Tottenham Palace as well. In fact, when he came, he stayed his 3 nights at Tottenham Palace as the situation is, so he was able to get a clearer picture of what it was and what it is now.
Okay.
So you're very concerned about these things.
Okay, what's the next question before I go to the second? Before I go to the next caller?
The other question that I have here is, since you are in Grand GEDEH, I know we're talking about the former First Lady. There's a house that the former president, Samuel Kanyando, have in the same Grand GEDEH area that, like you said, the what?
What's your question? Go ahead.
My question here is, as you are in Grand GEDEH and this house and this bring a membrane and other things, and it gives the city or the county some feeling or some look. There's any way people, the family member can reach out to the family member to either finish it or get rid of it so that it can just occupy and give the city some kind of face.
Okay, what I want to say, let's view the issue of the statue. After the statue, then we'll start discussing a private property.
Yeah, I know. Okay, because I want that people property government break it down, and then lawmaker gave order for them to break it down. That's another Pandora back there. Okay, so thank you so much. Let me go to the next caller here before I go to Pa James. Veteran journalist James Gomia is on the line, but let me go to this number here, 503-9777, very familiar number. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
This is Mikey S. Mano. Am I live?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for having me, sir. I want to say thank you to the honorable man for coming out tonight, and really appreciate every one of you what you did, receiving our president and making it to feel home. We really appreciate that, and we want to encourage you to continue to do what you guys are doing. Despite our different political views, when it comes to putting things together, we know our people are already there to do everything they can do. So we thank you so much. May God bless you and reach our voice to our people back there, that we appreciate them.
Thank you so much.
I got one more question, two questions to ask you, sir. The first one will be like, the first one we will be talking about the role. We talk about the role. Yeah. The president promised to do the best on the role, and we know he will do it. But I just want to know how long you guys see your husband lobbying for this role prior to the president visit to Grand GEDEH. How long you guys been doing that?
Well, we on our own have been talking, but under the Constitution, we don't have that capacity to go out to lobby. It's the duty of the executive. That's why we give them authority under the Constitution, that they go out to enter into international treaties, go out to, work on foreign policy issues, and then when they come by, whatsoever policy they are brought by, or whatsoever law they may have brought by, we evaluate it, and then we see how we can legitimize it, that it becomes a contract or grant or whatsoever. But at that point, our own is legislatively to legitimize those things that are supposed to be done to influence public policy decisions. So we talk, but we cannot play the role of the executive.
Okay. Thank you for that information. And then the second thing I got, it will be like a 2-in-1. The first thing is, do you guys have a city development group in Grand GEDEH, like a public way that people are taking a public meeting and other things to get?
Well, public works takes care of public equipment much more, and then public infrastructure based on the sector the four honor are taken care of by the sectorial agency that is responsible. If you are talking about public utilities, which of the utilities are we talking about? Are we talking about electricity? Are we talking about the running water? All of those things have their own institutions distinctly by law. So specifically what we are talking about, I can't really lay my hand on what really you want to point at. If we are talking about infrastructure, horizontal infrastructure, or the vertical infrastructure, on the public utility, then those are things that we can discuss. But otherwise, those public buildings that belong to the various sector agency, they are dealing with those ones.
Okay.
The second thing, the last one, Mr. So, just 1 second, please. The last one is, the reason why I asked this question is that the president said really what been playing on my mind. Like when the people look at things that used to be looking decent, and when they look at it now, prior to the war, they were decent, and now when they see that, it always play on their mind. Like, for example, the late president house right in Johnsonville, there is the farm, anytime somebody enters GEDEH, you'll see that place. Even though the building is not finished, at least some people have influence over there to keep that area clean, just to take that kind of memory for the people's mind. I think it will be a kind of a good thing. Nobody asking anybody to build a building and complete it. At least to keep that area running, a little bit clean. People going inside there, dedicating, doing all this stuff. It's hard.
So, madam, what you want to do to put up security?
Not that. I'm not asking for security, but at least some of the got people like onwards working guy, people. You can more like people say, hey, you're trying to help me and do a military look at a little bit decent. They will do that. People got influence over there. Got people that follow them, that listen to them.
Okay.
Yeah, they can do it just out of a goodwill, just for our citizens to look better.
Okay.
Like people when they enter, they not be by our city.
All right, that's what we're going to do. You and I are going to sign a treaty when we go for vacation.
For information. For information sharing purpose. I was one time school teacher in Zean. Prior to my ascension to this position, I mean, first to the UN and then to this position. School holidays, we used to, let's say, school work days, community service day, we used to call work day. We used to take students there to do some of these things. But again, it's a durable solution.
That was nice.
Yes, that was nice, but it's a durable solution. We're going to do it persistently and continuously. But this is not a public building. When the family have their own desire as how to treat their properties, you're just suggesting another situation, say, probably Zopen could take his people there. That is the personal problem. See, those are so many things that are causing the family feud now in the family. Nancy is screaming Zoga, husband's property, papers is keeping, he's denying those. And by the time you don't think, I'm not being definite, but probably if we start to do it again, it'll be because they want to take over the property, so he's keeping it clean. And when I get my children are supposed to be doing this thing. So those are personal family crisis, internal crisis, and properties also we don't want to do things, I said to say, it's legally obligatory or mandatory. Those things that we are able to do to bring out the image of our brother who has served this country for so many years and then met his untimely demise, like one of the projects you guys are undertaking, building a statue, a monument of Samuel Doe. I mean, those are what things we can do them and then ensure that when that statue is erected, wherever it's erected, we make it kind of a county. You have some kind of policy to help to keep it clean, bright, and shining. Those are, those are things we can put time into, but to continually and persistently clean someone's personal property when you have surviving sons and daughters, sometimes we.
Okay.
You can do, but under the law, it's done right.
Okay, let me go to Mr. James Gomia before I go back to my guest. Thank you, Mikey. James Gomia is our senior contributor, veteran journalist, formerly with ELWA, formerly with State Radio, is on the phone from New Jersey. Mr. Gomia, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So Honorable, welcome. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, I have a question that I want to ask. I know the president has been breaking ground for road construction, and you even talk about hospital in Zodru and all of that, and he's been breaking ground around the country. What I want to know is, does the president have infrastructure development that he presented as a budgetary allotment to the House and the Senate pass it before these things are carried on, or he just breaking ground and say, I'm going to look for money to build? How does it work? Do you people approve that, okay, we're going to allot this amount for road construction in the country, it's in this budget for this year, and then the House and the Senate approve it before these construction take place? How does it work?
Okay, thank you. The president enjoys a lot of international goodwill. Some come and say, look, Mr. President, I want to do this personally for you to be a mark on your government as my friend, and this is the support I want to bring. But those major infrastructure projects are executed through budgetary allocations. Like those street lights we're working on, other projects, major road projects are allocated through the budgetary allocation. Our budget is an open budget initiative. It's open on the internet. Go there, you identify this thing, you see the real line, the line items that are being treated on the public financial management system. So go there, you see this thing. They are clear. That the president enjoy his goodwill when friends make contribution. Instead of taking it like Manasari or winning a lot of international awards, bringing out money. And some of those money are using it to send other children, young people for international studies, and those things. They do happen in governments. So The president, when he gets his blessing from his friends, he thinks about sometimes sharing with people. Say, okay, since I have a lot of friends, those things I have in the country. If I'm looking only at what the government spends, how much more? What else do I want to show off? I have gone to the top of the world. I have seen the goodies. I have enjoyed life. I have lived life. What else can I do other than leaving the print? Leaving my mark on in the life of people. So he does these things. Sometimes, most time too, from a personal or goodwill that he gets internationally.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just follow up. What I'm trying to find out if the president has infrastructure or plan that he has presented to the House and the Senate, and the road from, let's say, the road from Ganta to Zwedru is to be constructed. Do the Senate and the House have it allotted in the budget, and for what? How many years did you allot? Budget? Did you make budgetary allotment for the construction of the roads?
Can I ask you one quick question? Have you read the Propo agenda for prosperity and development? Have you come across it in any way?
Yeah, I've read it, but most of the time, even the officials do not actually even understand what Propo agenda means. What I'm asking is, I'm not arguing about that. My question is, let me ask you now.
You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer.
But I'm not in authority to be interviewed. We are interviewing you. So I'm asking a question. I want to see. I just want to see how the government works in Liberia. That we're talking about road project. This road project, if the president have a package for developmental purposes, I thought it's supposed to be approved by the House and the Senate, and then you allocate those in the budget. If it is this year's budget, we say, okay, this year's budget, it was allocated that they would construct a road from Ganda to Sekwepi. Next year's budget, it will be from here to here. As member of parliament, do you all approve such budgetary allotment for the president's project or for the country's project? That's what I'm asking.
Yes. That's what I said. I'm asking. I don't know if it were you, as you think, I said, our public financial management system that is based on our budgetary allocations. The budget, we are all operating an open budget initiative. If you go on the internet, the Google Liberia budget or Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, you see the 2021 budgetary allocation. Then you look on the public works and see how much money is allocated for road construction. You will see it there.
So, honorable,
we are not living by. We are not guessing. We're running government. Only the points we are making or driving to is like these guys are just living, by guessing. The president decides and does whatever he decides at will. The budget is open. Go there, go on the various sector and see how these things are utilized. Sometimes these things, if you go and do research, you wouldn't be asking some of these questions.
No, I will be asking. I will ask because if the government has allocated money and it was being approved by the parliament, then we're supposed to know exactly how long it would take for a road to come from Ganta to Sekwepi or from Sekwepi to Tapata.
So, Mr. Gomia, let me add to this.
Sometimes our budget is based on how much we collect from taxes.
So honorable,
we are operating on cash-based, budget. So if we even indicated this year that we want to do this thing, if the funds are not generated.
So Mr. Honorable, let me ask the question before I switch gear to the Liberal Progressive. He's the expert when it comes to Roy. But let me just build or add up. Maybe I can a little bit cement what Mr. Gomia is expressing. So is money coming?
I was speaking.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I'm saying if you go on our budget is cash-based. How does it operate? When we generate revenue, that's why sometimes we come about say budget shortfall. When the resources or revenue doesn't perform that year, then we have to stop somebody. So it's not predictory, like to say we have already funding available that we are basing our project implementation on. We operate the budget as funding come in. Sometimes we get funding for international donors contribution or international partners or contribution. We plan within. If they don't come forth, we do not implement these things in totality. Then we implement them in phases based on how money come in.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. So
you may have a time frame, you may have a projector. That's why budget is all about projection.
Okay, Honorable, let me ask you a question. I will go over to my guys.
Are based on projection. We are projecting that this will happen. If this happens, then this can happen. If this doesn't happen, then this may not happen. They will happen before time. So that's what it is.
Okay, so it seems to be there's some sort of probabilities in here. But let me ask you before I go to Samson to and Pat George here. Is money coming into the country to facilitate this as far as you are concerned, you're a lawmaker? Or is it revenue from within internally that the government or GOL is using to carry on these projects? Or have you remembered any donor money coming in to say we are breaking? All of the above.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are possible on our budgetary allocations. Money come in. We also use our road development fund, which was introduced, which passed under the regime of President Weah, that whenever it was an idea introduced with this Millennium Challenge Corporation.
So do you remember precisely how much has come from the international, from the donors so far? Do you know? Lawmaker, anything?
No. I cannot say precisely. Different fundings have been coming in, and I cannot speak of it off here standing on my feet. So if it requires, I can do background investigation. Maybe in subsequent interview, we can bring out some of these things.
Okay.
But I cannot say it now off the hand.
All right. Let me go to. Okay.
Yeah, on estimating, but for our road fund, it is projected that annually will receive $30 million, and portion of that money goes to. In fact, it is based on the road funds, and that the project between Ghana and Secretary is being done. We allocated $14 million for that to that project out of our road funds. The rest of it will be targeting to small roads, community roads, and provincial capital roads. These things, and relighting some of the streets in the rural areas. Yes, those are things that we intend to do, but we're clear about that. The commitment is we should have the road, and so people are going there. I mean, our president is lobbying, internationally to get funding to get those roads connected, so our burdens of, long journey burden or suffering on the roads can be minimized.
Okay, let me go to the Liberal Progressive and Pat Joyce. I will come back to the Liberal.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, guy. Good evening and welcome. As you know, we're switching between video audio and that of phone audio, so that's why here. Okay, I guess you've been listening a little bit for a while now.
Yes. First of all, I want to also congratulate the Honorable and welcome you again on Liberia platform, Liberia Public Radio platform. Honorable, congratulations and thank you very much. Thank you and your colleagues, the leadership of Grand GEDEH County. You guys make us very, very proud, and I really, really appreciate it. Even those of us that have issue with some of you from time to time, but this one, I think you guys knock it right out of the ballpark. I want to thank you very much for the leadership you guys provide for the young people in Grand GEDEH County to be able to utilize the opportunity to welcome the president in a massive, massive form. And I can say to all Liberians that are listening to me, I think if we have to have some sort of some competition or who welcome the president the most, I think Grand GEDEH will be at the very top. Not because they love the president, but simply because he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. Whether we agree with him or not, at this point in time, we have to show respect and welcome him whatever area he goes. So I just want to take my hat out to the leadership of the Grand GEDEH County folks to say thank you, Honorable. We appreciate it. Now, the issue with the role and all the other stuff, what I can say to the Honorable and what would suggest is that I will hope, and I'm not a lawmaker, so I'm very much dense in this area. I have no clue. I'm just running my mouth here. So I hope the Honorable will help me to educate me. I'm willing to learn. But I was wondering, Honorable, if you guys can come up with some sort of a law from the House of Representatives, the Senate, and let it become a law to say the president, whatever project he starts that the lawmaker deem necessary to be in the interest of the Liberian people in terms of security and what have you, that project, any other leadership that comes to power must continue this project. And the legislature, it should be law, so that the law is violated, they can be taking the executive, whoever violated the law can take that to court. And I think this is one of the best time to do it, because I believe the president enjoy some sort of good rapport with the lawmakers. I would suspect. And the reason I'm saying this, Honorable, before you make your comment, to be honest with you, the road from, I'm not even going to touch Grand GEDEH Road. The road from Ganta to Sekepie, I drove on that road about 2 years ago. There's no way that it can be built in 3 years' term. No way. And furthermore, you said something here that you guys have like $14 billion. I mean, $4 billion, that would be good. $15 million. Now, usually when you talk to Liberian politicians and everybody say, oh, it takes $1 million for the road for 1 mile. Now, you're talking more than a mile here, and you're talking $14 million. This is more than 14 miles. So I'm not too sure how you guys going to square that. But then again, this is Liberia. I'm not out here to tell you how and when and where to do these road construction. But from an engineering perspective, in order for you to apply all of this standard, not only international standard, but even standard in Liberia, you can't build that road in 3 years. There's no way. In 3 years, you're talking about 1 year summer, 2 year, the second year, another summer, that's 1 year. And then the third year, another summer, that's a year and a half. Unless you want to build a road in the rainy season like they do in Monrovia, and which means that the road will not last. So once again, I just want to thank you very much, sir, for coming on Liberian Public Radio. Appreciate it.
Okay, let me go to him. Honorable, are you there?
Yeah.
I think he's giving his perspective that is just not possible based on what he knows and his own background to have that role, considering why it is. He used that role in the past. That is not possible. This guy, can he be contracted to go and see and do some of these things? This man is from Totan, Honorable. You know him, right?
I know him very well. Does he have a construction company?
He needs to have a construction.
Does he have a road construction company?
Can he provide consultancy? He needs a construction company before he can do that. He went there before, and he's trained young engineers. He has volunteered to go.
I'm thinking about giving him maybe certain portion of the road, and he perform his expertise.
Look, I don't know what I able to go on the Johnson in BI to do something, because this guy here, I really want him out of here. If it can require LPR to give him 1 year leave, and we can pay him, let him go and get this road. The guy is working on Sacramento Highway here, carrying on doing good brief work. I don't know why you guys are not utilizing some of these people here. Is that something you're willing to commit yourself to? I want something to all of this place here.
His CV.
Mr. Token, go and create a company. There are people who in Total. I mean, in Liberia, or he get manpower and they can put construction equipment together.
Where CVs are needed, we can just take it through.
Mr. So,
Samson Tall.
Mr. So, let me come in a little bit. I have no interest of sending CV or anything to nobody. First thing, I'm not even educated. So how am I going to create CV? Number one. Second thing is this. No, on a very serious note, I've always said this. I don't mind helping. When my friend Victor Smith asked me to go to Liberia the last time, I was there. I was spent almost 2 months teaching the young people, the young engineer in his firm, how to do road construction. Now, the honorable, just in the interest of a fair disclosure, he and I have had conversation recently about doing something in Grand GEDEH County. So he is quite aware of it. So I don't want him to be put on the spotlight to say, can you hire Mr. To? The honorable know once the road section ready to get in Grand GEDEH, I will be there. I will be there. And I'll make sure that the road is built properly. First of all, if you ask any of the public works minister or any of the people right now to show you the blueprint, to show you the drawing, to show you the cross section, they don't have it. They have nothing. So how the honorable will say, come and let him come and help us if he himself have not been provided with those type of information? And these are some of the things my help will come to play, because I will make sure these kinds of information get passed on to the honorable, so that at least if he's contacting the public work to say you're going to do this on Grand GEDEH, these are kinds of stuff we're looking for, because he himself will be proud to have a road built in Grand GEDEH County that will be durable. So I'm sure when the time comes, we will contact the honorable, and I'll be on ground.
All right. Honestly, here we are in the process here at Honorable Grain, and this is what we love doing here. We always like to conduct these savored conversations, and not just only to poke in the eyes of the government, but with the hope of also looking out there to provide alternative and be solutions oriented. And I think Samson Toll has said this over and over, and we have talked to this. What is guy name? What is other senator name on River G? Is that River G? One of them. We talk. Even the late minister, we have talked this thing here. But
we even talked to Sir Joseph, Senator Sir Joseph. Don't leave people out.
To work. I don't know what's the language we should use now again to communicate with national government, and not just only because people say maybe they say harshly or they say in an honest tone, they should be antagonized, or to say, oh, they are not one of us, or they are not one of them. I think that's where this whole problem too is coming from. Is there a way that we can open a corridor so that we can also hold Liberians who have the expertise, honorable, and that are willing to honestly work and to communicate with the government? Is there a way that we can open that sort of corridor so that it will be accommodated? This man is a Liberty Party man. He had made that proclamation here, but he's willing to do it for the good of his country.
Okay. Well, yes, like we say, and that's how I'm asking, because sometimes if you want to render these services, people ask of your credentials and your availability. That's one, because your credential legitimizes to what you do. Okay? And then at the end of the day, you are here accountable for your good work or your poor performance. You understand? But just coming to say, okay, I just want to render free services. In the first place, people will say, but who is he? Where does he come from? What does he have to offer? These are things, okay, so they'll be skeptical of you. But when you have something to show that I have done this, I can do this, and these are pieces of paper that can prove, these are examples that I've done that can prove, and people will start to build that level of trust in you. That's why I was asking.
So are you saying because of his
so if you are Jason, if you're a consultancy, you'll be referenced in the city, or some kind of a contract. Those are things that people will reference and say, oh yeah, well, we can do it because he is legally this person. But if you are just a willing horse that you can run me to death, Some kind of say no. In fact, they start being suspicious of the good gesture that you have. You know.
Yeah, that is
thing.
that when it comes to free something, Ricardo, is that what you're making reference? I told this man, but this guy from Total, he doesn't listen.
Yes. Eh?
Is that a free thing you're talking about, right?
Yeah, free thing. If you come like that, people are supposed to say it's too good to be true.
Okay.
That's too good to be true because we have a
professional sensei. And when on
is that more? Is that really point?
Yes.
Is that more? We see you go down. What? I saw a meeting like and when we later, they know that. Blia Pwania. So and when we later, so push out there and one push out you go ahead.
This guy is so ridiculous. This man from Total.
Go.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, Pa Joyce.
I don't know where you say you're going. You go in there, they pray on you. But let me say this. When you go, if you don't hear some cry, you go sit there.
This is what kind of trouble people are getting this network here? What do you mean by the people don't want you?
Let me say this. What the Honorable Zean has said. But here's the thing here. The Ministry of Public Works that will be responsible, that is responsible for all the construction things that go on in Liberia. They will not accept, I will say that they will not want to accept anybody like Mr. Toole.
Why?
Because the cutting corner in Liberia is a major issue. I can say, because if you go there as a consultant, the contractor will go to the minister that this man want to mind the project. We want to do that. He said, no more, do it this way. We want to do it, he must do it this way. Minister will say, hey, where did the man come from? Why didn't they put all the headache? These are the issues. And you see now, when the road go to Total, he'll go there, but Mr. Toole, you know it. When you go and hijack the contractor, they must do it this way. They will say they don't know you. So the issue here is, if at all the government of Liberia wants to hire your services as a consultant, then why the honorable, maybe the honorable can recommend you as a son of that area to make sure that the road going in that area is genuinely done instead of people just cutting corner. Because at the end of the day, if that road is built and it is not built properly, we'll go right back to square one. The maintenance of the road, the companies, they got no insurance to tell people, yeah, this road will be built 10 years will maintain the road. You don't see those things in the contract. The blueprint of that road has not been put out to the citizens of Nima, to that of Grand GEDEH going up. Nobody know the blueprint. What it will look like, the bridges and things, nobody know it. Now, when they overnight they say the road is being constructed, all these things has to be, these questions must be asked by people who have the technical know-how to the contractor. Why are you doing this? But let me just close on this note. The road fund that the honorable made mention of, we don't know the road fund you're talking about. I think the road fund, I think that the road fund that put Cabinet in trouble on something. It's going to be there to help finance or fund these roads. But let me go back to that, the veteran question you were asking again. The president, the honorable said that president made he got goodwill, friend that donate or that made donation to him or whatever. And I want to know, the hospital in Zean that they broke ground for, is that one of the goodwill of the German government to the president or to the people of Grand GEDEH and that of Liberia? Is that one of the goodwill?
All right, the honorable will be here for a little while. We're going to have a post analysis. Let me just go back to him to respond to some of these things, and then I mean, it's under the noise. Honorable, are you there?
I'm here. Is that
No, now you're parting comment. I say I want you to respond to some of the things Sam saying about
there's
Joy.
nothing to respond to there.
Mm.
All of the comments are being there, nothing to respond to there. I mean, I don't see what you'll be responding to because I think we discussed almost all of the things they are saying. They are giving additional knowledge on the issues, but I don't see anything there to respond to.
So,
Okay.
have you seen the blueprint? Have you seen the blueprint of that road project?
Okay. You've been quiet. We've been having it lengthily. I know it's very late in Liberia. It's 8:27 Eastern Standard Time, and in Liberia now I'm pretty close to. They've been having a very hectic time. Hopefully, when he gets back to Monrovia, we keep this conversation. Do you have anything to say before we go back to the Honorable? If there's something you want to mention?
Yeah. Well, I just want to. I just want to say thank you to the Honorable, and also I think for us to be able to get here again, I think we should let the Honorable go and get some rest so that he can say next time they're not going to regard and they kept me for a long time. So,
no,
Honorable, thank you for the work you guys are doing. We just want to know what you are doing and how it's going to help our country. We all love the country and we all want the best for our country. And thank you all for your contribution.
Yeah, I mean, I've been encouraging before he comes to that, Mr. Gomia. He's one of the persons. 5 minutes, 10 minutes to my program time. When I call him, he's available. And if we can have the rest of how many are you guys? 103, right, Honorable? Men and both houses.
Yes.
Yeah. If
we are 103.
Yeah. If the 103 minus 1, that 102. The way he's so spontaneous to our request, the Samson told Liberty Party, Darius Dillon, he never comes on this network. We are extended the invitation. Nyombli Kanga Lauren, he doesn't. ANC Alexander Kome, they don't. Unity Party and some of the seditions. And I will call them out because this is a guy was in Liberia overnight. I called him, he was hot like a hot pepper. And I drove over to his place. That's how these politicians behave when they're looking for power. Any microphone they are willing to stand before it. But it's so ridiculous that when you send them information, they become selected because the one that's sort of Sherman Brown, yes or no, ELTV sort of questions. And that's not what we do here, Mr. Gomia. You know that when people come here, we are respectful. We don't disrespect our leaders when they come here. We even frown on people who try to disrespect them. But it is ridiculous on the part of both some government officials and the opposition that are willing. You call them, they agree the next day to go get the council advices from other people, and then they give you a hell of a long list of laundry. But I think he's available all of the time, and I want to even encourage him when he returns to Monrovia to always be here. That will help us to know the inside work of what is happening behind this building that you see me here, why everybody is going there and stuff like that. Honorable Grant, I want to thank you so much. We will always agree and disagree, but the context in which this sort of conversation held, that's very much important. So we need to let you rest. Yeah, because I know the way the shovel you've been trained a few days, breaking the ground and all of that. I know the body pain and all that. So the body pain. Wait, there's other picture here. What you are doing to River G border there? What you went for?
We escorted the president over to the River G people with firm warning that we are releasing our president to you healthy. Let him return healthy to us.
Politician.
Return to friendly.
Oh my goodness. Politician, the photo strategy now. All of that. That's a connection with the executive. Okay, but before I let you go, is there anything during the visit of the president in Grand GEDEH County? Perhaps, and I understand those are they move on time. It's in sequence. They gotta be there certain days, certain hour, and they're passing on. Is there anything that you wish you have had an opportunity as lawmakers and chair of the caucus that you have you wish to have it discussed with the president, but there's no time, and if returning to Capitol Hill, you hope to follow up? Is there anything?
No, in earnest, we have all of the time available with the president. We will discuss those things that were relevant to be discussed, and I think it was good. In fact, right now I'm waiting for the president to return from Grand Crew on Saturday so that we return to Monrovia and go about our normal duties.
Ooh, cheese, yeah,
Otherwise,
therefore, again. Okay. But Grant, I want to thank you so much. Yeah, please try and make time with us. Yeah, we know you guys are loaded. If you can be here with us every Sunday, for us to have this sort of conversation, I think that will help, because some of these things we don't know, and when speculation comes into, that's how we can indict you're doing this, you're doing that. But the more that people try to make themselves available, it will give the ordinary people outside or inside is what is happening. Obviously, people will disagree, which is okay, but at least that afford you the opportunity to get your side of the story. Honorable Grant, I want to thank you so much for your time this morning hour. It's so late. I will let you go so you can have a rest.
Thank you so much, and remain blessed. We are available as often as you may need us. Once the time is granted, we will be there to speak about issues here and keep you informed in the diaspora, because it is true information, and you can also help to support our local cause. Thank you so much, and I'm grateful to all of you for your questions, for the interactions, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Gomia.
Yes.
Put it into, what do you have to say? You listen to it before I go back to my guys. I got to be switching the audio here. You listen to him. Yes. So, what do you make of that?
Yeah. Well, I listen. We have at least we got a little bit of insight as to what they are doing in the house, but I'm just not too clear on the explanation about the budgetary allotment, president's goodwill, and all of that. I don't know whether some of the road projects, even though they have a budgetary allotment, they are also waiting for the president's goodwill from his friends that want to help. I don't know. That's how we want to develop our country. It's something that really needs to be looked at, because for example here, like if Joe Biden presents his infrastructure budget, program to the House and the Senate, they debate on it, they take out what they want, what they don't want, they pull it in, and even people from the other area, they go and lobby for their constituencies and their state and all of that. I don't know, is that the same thing we do in Liberia? Or we just give everything to the executive to take care of it? That's the one I don't understand. Hope we have more of his colleagues to come on, maybe sometime 2, 3. They'll hear how actually
to get
they
the
are
version.
Working.
Yeah, to get the version. Okay.
Right.
I think, and that's give birth to my question, was whether to really money is coming out of the country, or the government is just working on its own income by revenue from internally. Then if that's the case, that's an issue. Okay, Mr. Gomian, thank you so much for your contribution. So let me go to the Liberal Progressive and Amos George for them to get their final analysis, and we will be hopefully be wrapping up in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and to all of our listeners and viewers, hey, Kiva-san, hopefully you're going to make a stop by here. Some days we are open to have this conversation. Okay, the Liberal, George. I think, let me make an educated guess here, based on what I gather here. And it reminds me, it sent me a signal, and I think Mr. Tolkien bear out that when we have Senator Alphonso Gay here, I think there is a problem in terms of budget. I don't think money is really coming in. So there is a two side here. Give them a little credit, but they are not coming up with information to get us to know the actual problem. Because from what I try to sense out from the lawmaker here, the government is squeezing herself from little income, revenue, taxes, and all of those stuff, and that how they are executing their program. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm gathering on top of my head. Something to Is that something you're thinking? Do you is a GOL? Do you think the president we are government is really getting the international support that it should?
Well, Mr. So, if you remember, some time ago, we have, as you correctly stated, we have Senator Gay on here, and he simply told you these people are not credible. They tell you they have surplus when they don't even have nothing, and sometimes I don't expect the representative to come out here and go into all of the budget issue. You will always make reference to say, look, if you want it, go look at it. It's published, which it is. True, you can go and look, but none of them will come out here and go into budget allocation and what have you, and line by line. They won't do that. But it is true that one of the problem, from my perspective, one of the problems this government have is that they tend to promise more than they can deliver. They did it here in this pro-poor agenda, and I was hoping that the honorable were going to make that statement about where in the pro-poor agenda that people can find that type of information. They wrote such a beautiful document, but they can't keep it up. And so the expectation
What
of
is responsible when you say they can't keep it up?
that every little thing that is not even up to standard, that people are disappointed.
So, Mr. Toll,
Whereas if you come out,
for that, they can't keep it up. What you said, they can't keep it up. What is potentially responsible for that?
well, because they tend to look at everything from the prism of politics. The bill roll based on political, I call them political roles. And they are not being truthful. That's the point. They not that they don't, Dr. We really want to build a role, but the people who supposed to be the help to be the supporting crew, they're not being truthful.
Who are those people?
Excuse me?
Who are those people you're making reference to?
Well, Mr. So, I mean, the people, Dr. Weir is not an engineer, so he doesn't know much about road construction and everything else. It is those who are responsible, the engineers who are charged to carry out this function. I told you here some time ago, there was an incident where they gave a project out for people to build, do road widening. And at the almost like the end of the project, and then they discovered that the light pole is in the middle of the street that they're building. So how credible can you be when you can't even identify existing utility on your drawing? And when you watch the president, whenever he goes out to view the stuff, they don't show him papers, they don't show him blueprint or anything. They point their fingers to say it's over there, it's over there. What kind of business is this? These are people that you expect to
from the engineer perspective,
a decent role. It's not happening. It's not going to happen until the president decides, and especially those who are charged to carry out the infrastructure process, that they be truthful to themselves and be truthful with the Liberian. You heard Mr. Smith here the other night, where they was go and present the blueprint to public work, but then they build something different. For example, there was a blueprint that was presented to public work and approved for 2-story. And then they decided they're going to make it 4-story because they think they can do whatever they want to do. And then when the public work minister, IT minister Victor Smith talked about it, they ran to the vice president. And these are the kinds of stuff. If you do that, you can't move anything, nothing. Look at the role you have over there, Alphonso. Yeah, I'm not going to go into this here sometime. They don't even have shoulder backing. They don't even have the edge of the pavement. It's hanging up. So when you have rain, which we do 6 months, the water come off of the quarter, as they call it, and seep underneath the quarter because you have the pavement hanging up. There is no shoulder backing. They care less about the drainage system in Liberia. So sometimes I'm frustrated, but what can I do?
Yeah, so before I switch to Mr. Ty George here, because the role is a serious thing, and we are doing everything all out. We will critique the government. It is our government, whether people voted for or against. But at the same time, we put forward solutions. It is within the purview of national government to accommodate or to incorporate and be able to play smart and get to this thing here. When you say the people here, can we put it on both ends? Is the president willing to listen, Or are these people that are employed by the president, are they genuine? Do they love their country? Do they take time to also explain to the president in depth, Mr. President, yes, you confide in me, and I want you to also listen to our recommendation. So it's hard to cut this cake here. Who is listening? Who is not listening? And who is also coming forth with the information? How can you square those out? Are the ministry people at the Ministry of Public Works, do they have that courage to also, even if it is not right, and the president, he's rightfully said, of course, he's not an engineer, and that's why these people are there. Do they also have courage to be honest to the president, to tell him, Mr. President, this is not right, we can do it this way, we can do it this way? Or are they all about protecting their jobs?
Mr. So, this is not just this government. Since Tuckman time, it's always like that. Hail to the king, nothing else. The public work, and I'm not here to disparage anybody or anything else. The people are public work. Many of them are more knowledgeable in terms of engineering than me. There's no question asked, okay? The point here is this. The president, he goes, in fact, that used to happen a lot during Madam Salim's administration. She will go to place before you know, she make an announcement to say, we'll put a road from here in the next 2 weeks, there will be road here. Next 3 months, there will be road here, without realizing the intricacy in constructing road. Now, in this government, this president, he comes out and said, we're going to build, and he has genuine interest. They have genuine interest in the road building business in Liberia, which is good. But the engineers themselves, if you have the standard and you show to the president, let's go through this process, and you can show the president all of the drawing, what are involved in order for you to achieve durable road. It is a president decision to say, look, you're wasting my time. I don't want to build this road. Now, for example, me as an engineer, do I expect to go pay money to get job? 5 cents I will not pay. And the reason here is this. I know what I'm doing. So if I'm given a job as an engineer to carry out a specific process, I will make sure that I apply the standard. And whoever my boss is, if he doesn't want the standard, I can go anywhere and practice engineer in the world. I don't have to stay in Liberia and say, you know what? Forget it. I'll see you guys later. And I will leave. Because why? I didn't pay a dime. Let's take, for example, if somebody call me, Samson, to come and be a director of some financing, I have no clue in there. Can you pay some money? And since I want prestige, of course, I'll pay the money. Once they're happy, they will tell me, do this. I'll say, okay. They'll say, jump. I say, oh, hi. Because I have no experience in that. And this is why you have to find people, credible people, who can do the job.
So, lastly here, Pi George is listening here. Your last trip, which year was that? And I think we had this brief conversation here where you did inspections on the Sister River Bridge, correct? When you were coming from, I think you do a walkthrough or whatever you decided to take a look, because from what you saw, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason I'm asking, because the Sister River Bridge, built by the Venezuelans, that in the 60s, within the same time frame where that was the waterside bridge, that a couple of years ago, I think it collapsed and they ended up doing different things. And may his soul rest in peace. When you told me, I believe you got this information out to the authority, then I ministered Nyimpa, and I see where some of your frustration come from, because we have done everything possible we can behind the scene, but you don't like to talk it. But I can talk it, because it's true. We don't want people to say they just talk and they are not doing anything. You left from here to go train people and all of that. You don't like to talk it. I would talk it. And I told you here, but you are not a high-head old man who don't listen to people, because you Liberty Party people, that's part of your thing. You're doing everything. You heard the Honorable saying here, anything that is free, people do not attach value. And I understand your patriotism, the commitment, the love. But you see, other one tonight after the program, I know you were
so let me address this here very quickly. The first thing I want to address
when they ask you to do a work, tell them the value. But you say you want to do it.
No, this is what I'm a little bit different from many people. if, for example, when I did the road in Monrovia, when I did the design for the road in Monrovia, I didn't ask for anything because I felt this is how you feel as an engineer. For me, I like to do. I've done many things here in the state of California. None of you, my brothers and sisters, not friends, none of you will be able to experience the kinds of work that I've done here. People ride on these roads. They don't know who Samson Toe is from Toe Town. But if I do something in Liberia, people, when I get in Monrovia and I drive on my own road that I've designed, I'll feel proud. So I don't ask for money. Let me give you an example. When I went home, after the teaching process and things like that, I decided to go to Toe Town, of course. So we drove, and Mr. So, there's some bridges on the road, well, cover. You can see through. They have these little wooden, not even wooden, like a steel plate. Some of the plates are not even good. These are things that that are on a major highway in Liberia, okay? And these things that can be resolved. But the point that I'm trying to make here is I'm not going to go after people begging for jobs. I will not do that. The reason here is this. I spent 5 years, my first degree. I spent some more year, white people, conking my hair so I can get it. After doing that, I've now spent over almost 25 to 30 years in design. You want me to go beg people? They don't even have 5 cents to pay me. Why would I want to take $15,000 or $16,000 a month to sit down in total and do some road work when my own brothers and sisters are not even making $100? What sense does that make? Why would I want to take certain amount of money from the government because I'm considered to be, he can do this job. If I can do it, why can't I? I'm already getting paid here. If I retire right now, my retirement money will be going to be enough to live in Liberia more than many people living in Liberia.
How much would that be?
If they think because they're not giving me money, therefore my service to them is not valuable, forget it. I just had a meeting, that's why I'm late. We're building a bridge over there in the north, and they're student from California, Southern California University. They're going to be involved on our bridge to set a earthquake detector on that bridge. I'm going to be involved in the design of that process. What do you think I am? Some kind of slush that I'm going to go beg people? I will not beg nobody.
I want to call people name, and because some of these people are officials. What is guy? Is that River G? Which of the senator that I call here and talk? At the end of the day, I call here. He say he's not coming. The one he was in the election here. Where is he again? No, not Boss Child. I mean, one of the senators. Is that we said we talked to Mr.
I think it was.
Yeah, one of them was chair on popular work or committee from the Senate, but from the Southeast there, I believe it's coming that we say. One of them came to
come there from River G.
River G, I think, yeah, I believe we have done our part to reach out to some of these people, but it just per Josh.
Look, what Mr. Toe is saying, that's the reality. That's what for me I just needed the nail on the head. These people would not want anybody who would not be part of that clique. They would not want anybody to say, oh, the man is here to ask questions. Hey, you the contractor here, this is not supposed to be done so. That trouble. They will go back to the minister. Oh, that man you get what his business how. You got to call that man from there. Because that man, he want to do everything straight. And that had been the Liberian way of doing things.
Wow.
That had been the way. When we depart from that, that's the question. Here's the issue I was talking about this. And the question that Honorable Gombe said we're trying to push this representative on. Money, the budget they make, it's just a projection. Depending on the local revenue to collect and goodwill donation from other countries. So, because the question, what we're drilling down is that the president program said they're going to build a road. That money is not yet available. And I want to ask myself, I heard the president say last night that they are talking to their partners, to donors. So how long will it take for that money to come? They said this year we don't know. We don't know. But most of the things are done politically to please their constituencies. This is why these things are done. Now, what is the blueprint for that road, Mr. So? Have you ever seen the blueprint? That whole road from Ganta to Zedu, from Zedu to Hapo. What is the blueprint? I thought when you drink it, you put a sample, the road there to say, this is how the road would look.
So there's a rhythm, Per Joyce and something to, I'm not sure whether that's the argument of them. There's a rhythm, say, keep the blueprint and we will do the work. So it seems one group of people have the copy of what should be done so people will know exactly what is happening. Okay, we'll do it. Is that a working deal?
It's not working well, Mr. So. Mr. So, let's take, for example, if you get a contractor a house to build, when you go to the contractor, you want to see that the contractor, you want to see the print from the draftsman that you got, that he got. Walk me through. Let me see the bathroom. Where would the toilet go? Where would the first basin go? Where would the tub go? You want to see that. But look at the Rafi Road. We were on the program before the minister passed. No librarian can show you any blueprint how that road will look like when it finished. Nobody knows. The hospital that they just broke ground in Zedu. What is the plan for that hospital? Did anybody from a grant there answer Mr. President or the Minister of Health or Minister of Public Health? What is the blueprint for the hospital? So when it finishes, we'll know how the hospital look like. Put it up there so we can see.
Okay, let me hold you right there and bring in Mr. Toya. Mr. To.
Yes.
With your experience, with your background, how does it work? Say I'm going to have a groundbreaking ceremony. We are in the process of building the ministry or carrying on a project. My guess, there can be a symbolic, something like a symbol where, especially when the official ceremony going to be put in place, engineers or contractors will be there to be, kind of an exhibit to showcase how you're going to look there. Is that how it works?
Well, Mr. So, in this country where I practice engineering, it's a little bit different. And I'm not about ready to speak about Liberia situation because I've not truly stayed in Liberia to practice engineering, but I've talked to a lot of Liberian engineers. Now, you have two scenarios. Where the president, for example, can go out and say, in this area here, just point to the area and say, in this area here, I'd like to build a hospital and make that announcement. Or from here to there, we'd like to build this road and make that announcement. Now, but before it's done, before these kinds of things are done, first, when you identify the facility that you want to use or you want to build, who are you building it for? Talk to the community. Do they need it? They will say, most likely they will say yes. Okay. Then you have a conversation with the community to make sure that the communities are on board. Because when you're done building, you're not going to stay there. The community people are going to be there. If they feel that that particular project, that facility belongs to them, they will take care of it.
So let's make it a little bit interactive here. To get government should get a consensus or the approval of the dwellers, the community or the beneficiary to say, yes, this is what we want. What happens when they say no?
Well, they will most likely, especially in Liberia, if they say no, perhaps, first of all, if you say you want to build something in a community, first of all, you have to identify what it is that you want to build. If the community in need of that, and most of the time, in the infrastructure based in Liberia, most community will want that kind of stuff. So I'm not even questioning that. But the point that I'm making is when you identify the community, explain to the community. Let's take Dole community road for example. Dole community is not the only community in its boroughs of Monrovia that have issues. Why was they selected? Make them to understand that there were other competing community, but we're picking you to bring this a project here because of X, Y, and Z. And when you do that, they will feel happy within themselves to appreciate what it is you're doing. But those kinds of things don't happen in Liberia. They say the president say, I will build a road here. Okay. Oh, the president building the road. Fine. They come and put a road down. The next thing, they're not even taking good care of the road. They don't have maintenance, but the people themselves, if they feel that they have interest in this thing, they will do it. I'll give you an example. Back in 19 I was coming from Total, coming to Monrovia. But I had to get to Monrovia by a specific time because I had something to take care of. So we took a car in the afternoon. We passed Tapeta. Between Tapeta and Groy, the tire flat. There were other people that were going to Groy. There were other people that were going to Second Pier and Gantak. So we sat there. The driver said, okay, we're going to wait. Let's wait for a car that's coming from Second Pier, going back to Tapeta. Then we can send the cardboard to go and get the jack.
Oh my goodness. The car you were in, they didn't have jack?
Hold on, please, Mr. So let me just tell you this. It's very interesting. Or when the car comes from Tapeta going to Gray or Second Pier, we can send somebody. So I thought to myself, we're not going to be here. We're not going to be able to get out of here. So I suggested to the men, some other guys, I said, why don't we lift the car? The guy moved because we have the spare. Move the old tire, put the spare on it, and work it out of here. And every one of the people that was involved, they agreed. You know why? Not because my idea was better, but we all have common interest in getting out of that place in time. So we lifted the car and they put the stuff there and we're out of there. This is what you mean by concerted effort of a community to lift something up. If the people have no interest in it, you can't be successful. And that's what I'm saying.
Ooh, I didn't know you were strong like a lion man to lift to pull.
But I wasn't alone, Mr. So. It was a lot of us. It was almost like 50 of us or so.
So why were you even getting car no jack? You didn't know that there was.
I didn't say gas. I said tire.
Tire. I mean, I'm talking about that's jack they used to lift the car. You never had it.
The driver there even right now. When you get in a car, you can ask them, you got jack?
Many are later under the car. Oh my God. Yeah, look.
Look, this is reality, Mr. So, and this is where we are. As you are saying, there's nothing wrong with going to break ground for the project, but let the people at corporate work, give them heads, so let it do all the architectural work, everything. The engineers are on board. You call the people, hey, okay, now this is why, because as you say, most times people will not reject infrastructure. So okay, if you want to surpass it, you say, okay, look, this is what we're going to build. This is the design. This is how the building will be looking like. You go there and have a meeting with the people. But it's just a few group of people. Come the leader will go in there, yeah, we'll go do the one. Okay, we'll come. Oh, the president brought a package. Now he spoke about goodwill. And that's what I was trying to ask him. President doing goodwill, people giving, President France giving him gift, and he using it to help other people because he doesn't need it. This is the same argument where I heard. Now, what did he give? That he gave the president that he doing the goodwill in this country. Where is it? People don't see it, but they continue to make this argument. Liberia is scrap. There's no money. I can say the President Weah is not enjoying any goodwill for the international community. Giving 10 million now, 20 million now, like just people, they just do it to say that they don't want to look at, so people cannot look at the institution as they're being biased or they don't like the country. That's all they do. They get 10 million now.
Quickly, before go, why are they doing that? Why are they not giving money?
Mr. So, it's about the leader. What you do all there, what a country, how you sell a country.
Let's set President Weah aside here. 2023 is next door. Is there any potential leader that we can forecast that they can even do better with the international community? Do you see any, looking at this opposition that we have with the new breath of another political party, another what his name, Wilmon Payne, then leaving Unity Party, that were kicked out of the Unity Party, failed to show leadership, failed to do what is right. He's now gone to People's Liberation. Similar party is in Mozambique. Now these guys are recycling from one bottle to another bottle. Are they trusted people as well to do business with them?
Oh no, Mr. So, women pay them. Women pay. Who know women pay them outside of Liberia? Take for example, President, we had inauguration. He had to go to Open Boakai, for Boakai to go to Freetown, Nigeria, Guinea, to convince the people to come to attend the ceremony. Because the people said they were not coming to that ceremony. You remember one person we had said he gave Joseph Boakai something? The spirit then he went to Boakai, that one he called him part to beg him to go talk to his leaders to come for that inauguration ceremony. And you saw it that the people did not even stay the program and they left. If this man got so much rapport, look at the sub-region. Since he came to power, how many head of state have visited him? These are programs, but I just want to leave you on a very soft note. I saw a post today from Bomb County, Mr. So, that the government of President where they pay people in Bomb County to turn up. A journalist posted the story from Bomb County. How they gave chiefs at 40,000, the other group 40,000.
But it happens here as well. And when Donald Trump going, they get people from nearby state, put them on buses. Those are politicians. Those are the strategies.
And you see, then the people talk about money. But why using the kind of money just to pay people to show up crowd? Why? If you are good, the people like you, they will show up.
Okay. The Liberal Progressive. Why? I'm not getting your microphone.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Before you come to your point,
go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you the similar question. George Weah, Dr. Weah, CDC, this and that. It's good you have made a full disclosure here in terms of your political affiliation, which I really, really appreciate as member of a cardholder member of Liberty Party USA, which you can't even vote in Liberia. So I don't even know how far your argument can go. Now, do you think there's the opposition, including your party, Liberty Party, the 11 political parties, Rainbow Coalition, the 4 political parties collaborate on the Bannett Collaborative, which of course they are not collaborating, plus a newborn party, Liberation or whatever, a humanitarian gesture, which of course has turned to politician, businessmen can turn to politicians, or philanthropic can turn to politician. Is there these people here? Can we believe in them? In as much we found with talking about this government in terms of the policy, can we also believe in these people? Are they deliverable?
Mr. So, like I said, I'm a member of Liberty Party USA, but that does not mean that I'm not Liberian. And so, as I always say, the president is my president. Even though if I was to be in Liberia, I wasn't going to vote for him. But this is a man that Liberian people give us, and we must respect him and respect the process. This is what I'm going to say about the opposition. The kinds of things that we're seeing right now, I see if they continue with it within the next 3 years, if they don't pivot, Joshua will be re-elected easily. How are you going to challenge Dr. Weah in terms of corruption, and you have somebody who is perceived, I mean perception now, because I don't have no proof, but who is perceived to be corrupt, to be the chairman of the political party, the party that is leading the opposition right now?
Why you can't call it as your party? Why you don't have the guts to call your party name?
I said Liberty Party. No, Mr. So, I don't believe you want to leave on this conversation on a very personal, because I'm getting ready to derail your whatever it is you have in mind with
Mr. Joy.
Liberal. The conservative idea, they're not holding it. Please let me finish my statement.
You are finished. But this guy here, let me just hold you as a state witness here. You saw how he tried to restructure, redesign. My question is, that's not an engineering stuff we are doing.
Mr. So, please, don't try to put words in my mouth. Please, I'm telling you something. The Liberty Party, the CTP, whatever they call themselves, if they don't pivot, the young Liberians, that perhaps might not even be inclined to vote for the president and the CDC. They will sit on the sideline and let CDC flog them. You can't be Dallas Dillon, a man of a light who said they have the light. You can't be Madame Lawrence, a lady who is respected all over the world, and you're going to have Musa ability to be your chairman without you coming out.
Why you don't have you have not called these people out, your party member, your partisan. You have not called them out on this network. Why?
Because I don't have the power to do so.
You don't. Yeah. Seriously?
I just called him out, Mr. So. What do you want me to say?
No. I have to.
Don't play that game with us. You know the political leader of your party right now. You know, and she's your friend. Have you spoken to her behind closed doors?
He has not.
And even if I did, do you expect me to diverge our conversation to you?
No, you don't have to. You can say, yes, I spoke to her. You don't have to explain. Hold on there. You don't have to explain the nature of the conversation, but you can say, yeah, I have spoken to her. Okay, that's all.
I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to confirm or deny.
He does not have the guts to do that. All right?
Why you guys want to look, folks? Here's the deal. These two conservatives, they hate the liberals so much that they're going to gain out on me, but they can't make it with me. Let me just tell you, I'm giving you the truth. If Liberty Party and the other opposition, if they cannot pivot and come back to the center and deal with the Musability issue, Liberty Party will lead the CPP from behind. There's no question asked. There's no question asked. Musability in the past have tried, and you continue to do that, to try to clear his name. But that information need to bring forth by the leadership of Liberty Party to say this is what happening. Let Liberians be aware of it.
We are talking about this is the same cover-up you guys are also doing. We are frowning on the CDC government. This is the same cover-up. Your Darius Dillon, Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, and all of you within the Liberty Party, including the CPP, you're in defense of this guy here, and you don't want to speak it up. So how can we turn this wheel around? You are also part of the problem. Pa George, am I going wrong here?
Look, Mr. So, I have said it before. The best option for the unit for the Liberty Party, I said it the last time, let me repeat again, is to ask Musability to step aside pending the outcome of the investigation.
We can't do it because Musability claim on the sister network Home TV is the richest man. So one can make a guess that Liberty Party, Samson To, Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, Darius Dillon, who has been in defense of Liberty Party.
Let me ask you for you. Has Musability been found guilty?
There you go.
He's not the uptake here. Listen. The uptake here. I'm not saying he's guilty.
You want the man to resign because
no, hold on. I didn't say he should resign. I said he should step aside pending the outcome of the investigation.
Who's investigating?
The man said he sued FIFA for some defamation of character, and FIFA accused him of embezzlement. So he said he took FIFA to court. Now, while that matter is pending, he had not ascended to the highest position in the party. And these revelations are coming out.
But are you telling me that because the case, if it is in court, does that mean that he doesn't have the ability to lead? Is that what you want?
And then you contradict yourself.
You bring it. This is what I'm suggesting. Musability, I'm not asking him to resign. What I want my party to do is to come out to say that Musability has been trying to clear his name. But these are the process Musability is going through for him to clear his name.
George.
That's the kind of information these people need to be. Instead, they're all silent.
This is
what you got people like George. You got people like Alphonso who is now coming in and improvising, which is ridiculous.
There you go.
Let me tell you,
George.
Musability has been distraction to your party.
He doesn't understand that. He doesn't.
The best thing to do as a political leader for the sake of the party, not himself, is to say, you know what happened? I will step aside yet. Let me complete. Let the investment come. Let it go on.
George.
Yeah.
These people, yes, I'm saying here, he's doing that late night salad dressing here. I'm a country boy. I don't eat salad. Salad is by mistake here. So you're not going to bring that. It's not going to work. First of all, you knowing that it was a cloud that hangs over this young man. You, as a political party that you see yourself as an alternative to the Liberian people, part of good governance, this guy, you should have make sure, first of all, you guys should have make sure that this guy clear his name. That's what happens here. You in this country, you know that when something hangs over people, they make sure they get a code clearing. Instead, you people were sold out because he's financially potent, he's financially equipped, as he alluded on Spoon Network. So all of you say, okay, this man, he got the financial resources. We're going to give him the chairperson. And that's the situation you're dealing with now, and you don't want to come admit it. Well, gentlemen, I think time is off of hand here. We will continue to find answers to all of these problems that are facing Liberia, the opposition, the government, the advocacy, even people in the media world, they're being very biased on bias, and all of these things all factor in. But we always give the opportunity to get people to hear us. When will you talk to your party people for us to have Mr. Ability here so that we can hear from him? Is that possible?
That ain't your business. That ain't your business.
Are you serious?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, I don't help your business.
About what?
About me talking to my people in the party.
No, I'm not saying
what party business.
Invite them because I'm tired of calling them. Maybe you can use your influence. And
no, we don't want to come on LPR. We don't want to come on LPR because LPR is biased against us.
Against who?
Against Liberty Party.
How can I be biased against you when you are a board chair here and you have been making a point here from time to time? How can you come?
That's different. That's different than for me to come bring my party here for you and Pa George to slaughter them up. No, we're not going to do that.
Will you bring Yombli Kanga?
No.
Darius DeLong?
No.
Who will be here now?
Unless LPR become a neutral person in this whole conversation. Other than that, we're not going to bring anybody out here.
But what is the neutrality that you want us to do? We ask honest question. We ask honest question.
How you consider this an honest question when you already say you're the jury, the judge, and you've already convicted this man? You want him to step aside while the conversation about his leadership, about his whatever it is, happen. You're giving suggestion. You're not being neutral. We're not bringing anybody out here.
Mr. Toll, I'm helping you. I'm helping your Liberty Party.
No. Are they gonna help? When they're gonna help, we don't need no help. We can take care of ourselves.
Because Belete has become distraction to the party. He has become like a liability to the party. Because everyone
us, we will deal with it. We will deal with it the way we know how.
You remember Representative Hunter, the distraction to the GOP here?
Yes.
Are you there, the Liberal?
Well, we're not GOP. We're not GOPs.
You who?
Well, Liberty Party.
You saw what happened to this guy, the senator from all the people that they threw out of the Senate because they were saying that these people were distracting to the people. So I'm just telling you, Mr. Billy, I don't know Mr. Billy, but honestly speaking, when you are in a leadership position, when these things happen, to save your organization, but you can tell the people, you're not stepping down, but look, let me complete this investigation so that DAOPA can move from behind. Also,
guess what? The mayor is not stepping down because you remember Nathaniel McGee was party chairman and CDC won. He becomes a minister of state for presidential affairs. Who knows? That's why.
Oh, yeah. He got a deep pocket.
He got a pocket, something in the making here. Okay, the Liberal Progressive of Studio Beat of the Liberia Public Radio and host conversation with Samson Thor. As usual, we always here. We can have some rough edges, but forget it. After our program, we're cool, right, Mr. Thor?
No, we're not cool. You and Pajo and myself, you people and myself, we're not cool anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but anyway, we're not cool, but at least we'll meet in total. Then we'll set it all there.
Oh God!
Oh, it's been a wonderful time. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very much. I'm still anticipating to have Senator I will see if you can make that confirmation, Senator Jonathan Boy Charles Sigbe, And we want to talk to people from different perspectives, different angles. But except, we can close in. We extend the invitation to if they're willing, that's fine. We do not humiliate people here. We ask genuine questions. And our audience, very civilized. They are the best. They don't throw anything at our guests. They express their views, their opinions, and stuff like that. And that's what we want to do. And so we can equally do that. Anybody come here, doesn't matter where they come from. We are open to talk today. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. Today, we did not have a Professor Assis Labozawulot and that of Leo Johnson. But people are busy here, and that is quite understandable. So, folks, thank you so much, Pa George from Atlanta, Georgia, Samson Branto from the Sacramento Studio B in Saxtown, California. So, your retirement, what's the figure if you retire?
Retire from where?
You just told
no, from LPR.
Oh.
No, we're talking about from Saxtown. After
retirement here is not yet. It's not yet. It's going to be a while. But even if I were to retire now, if I say I'll retire within next month or something, I should be fine.
Your son 16 years old now or 17?
Oh, how much?
No. That was staying here. My son 11 years old.
Yes,
I'm not going nowhere.
The son's age always decrease. It can't never. My son 9 years old. My son. They're for trouble. Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much. Time has caught up with us here, folks, and have a pleasant evening. We're going to be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to be here with all things considered. Let's see how it plays out. I think the president is gradually winding down. We think we want to be talking to some of these, the superintendents, the lawmakers, to hear from them precisely the aftermath of the president's visit. What going to be the political dividend? What we're going to see happening to get their side. Just how we talk to Representative Ellis Chesia Green. Guys, have a pleasant evening.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it here. I want to thank all of our good guys, Kevin Santa. Hopefully, you're going to stop by here. To also hear from you about contributor, Mr. James Gomian, former leader of ELWA, ELBC, is in New Jersey. Thank you for that hair-scratching question to our lawmaker. Mona Howard Henry was contributor here, Madam Barclay, and all of those folks. Tyan, Alphonso Davis, Randolph, and Alice, Louise. Thank you to Louise Coben. Hopefully, I'm calling this new. You put us some really critical. You made a good contribution. If you have not subscribed to this network, just go on to our Facebook page, www.liberiapublicradio.com. You can subscribe. You can click the like button. Our YouTube channel to get a notification when we are on our live broadcast. We discuss issue, not personality, keeping it well proportionate, give everybody the opportunity to express their views, their opinion, but it must be done in savored context, and that's what we represent, and that's what make it Liberia Public Radio. Until then, folks, have a pleasant, beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I am Alphonso Zean, so right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. By God's willing, same time, same stations, we're going to be right back here with more news and information. Bye-bye.
Infectious Michael. There is fullness of joy. Land that seemeth, recognize its presence. Its presence, its presence, its presence, its presence. Anything must bow in your presence, Lord. Sickness must go in your presence, Lord. Barrenness must go in your presence, Lord. No demon can stand in your presence, Lord. No witchcraft can survive in your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. I need your presence. Hey, Jehovah, I need your presence. Jehovah, Makadash, I need your presence. Hey, Ashada, I need your presence. The bright and morning star, I need your presence. Lion of Judah, I need your presence. Highest level, in your presence. Highest level, in your presence. Your presence is a paradise for me. Your presence is a paradise for me. for me. Lord, I want to stay wherever you are, Papa. Your presence is a paradise for me. Where can I be without your presence? Your presence is a paradise for me. Your presence, your presence, your presence, your presence. Your presence is a paradise for me.